At Isaiah 7:14 today. God is with us. The sign of a son that we talked about yesterday was meant to assure God's people that when we experience hardships and trials, God is with us through them all. King Ahaz, who had practiced idolatry, who was unfaithful to God in so many ways, thought he knew who his friends and enemies were. But he ended up being all wrong. His stubborn refusal to believe God's counsel came at a great cost for his country, Judah. Isaiah the prophet had clearly spelled out for him what his real threat was, but Ahaz refused to listen to God's perspective. It wasn't Israel and Syria, his close neighbors, that they should worry about, but actually the bigger kingdom they were trying to make an alliance with. How often we think we have some situation all figured out, but later learn we had it all wrong. This should not surprise us. After all, we are human and have only limited ability to analyze all the details of our complicated lives. But when shown that our previous position wasn't right, like with Ahaz, we should be willing to admit our mistakes and try to correct any wrongs done. This kind of humble action is certainly required for many of us in the context of today's world, just as it was required of Ahaz. Confusion and fear are everywhere, now more than ever. People don't trust in a lot of things these days. Only by trusting God, in maintaining our relationship with Him, can we really understand what's going on in our world today. Despite all our worries about what's going to happen to us, we should just let God take care of it, just like God was trying to do for Ahaz. Well, next week we'll find out more about the trouble they were in with Assyria. So I'll see you then on Monday. Shabbat Shalom. Have a peaceful Sabbath.